Hello and welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Eamon Khan here with Angelo Dragone out on the 22nd of July. Angelo, how you doing, sir?
Yes, very good, thank you. How are you doing, right?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad at all. All the better for speaking to you, Angelo. Look, I was speaking to Colin in the lead up to this interview. It says in the lead up to your fight, maybe this is a one last cracker, one last chance of getting titles. Is that what it is for you, Angelo?
To be honest, obviously that's like my intentions, but I'm gonna take one fight at a time. Obviously, I'm kind of going back to the start now, and it feels like I'm making my debut again because obviously I've had 18 months off now. I retired from boxing on my last fight. I obviously missed out on the Welsh title twice now, and I just felt obviously dropping down to featherweight. I was doing 32 going into 33, and I think it took its toll in the end, so I needed some time out, recharge the batteries, and I feel like I'm just gonna kind of come back now, just take one fight at a time, and obviously if the titles come, they come.
Mhm. No, I hear that. What was the reason to retire in the first place?
Um, to be honest, I just opened my own gym. I have, so I've been really busy with that. I had a newborn baby son as well, and obviously it just everything came at once, and I just obviously dropping down the featherweight and just kind of killed me off. Even though it was still a good fight, I only lost by 1 point and Welsh title fight, but I knew mentally it wasn't there. Like, you know what I mean? Physically, I was there. Like, I'm tough in game. I always come forward and have a go or anything. But I just knew mentally in the back of my mind it just wasn't quite there, so I needed a bit of time out then.
Now, you mentioned something that I wanted to speak to you about. How do you balance preparing for a fight, fighting, being a gym owner, having a child, doing all that, and being able to, get yourself ready for a fight?
Yeah, it is hard work to be honest. I don't know how I do it myself, but yeah, it is like people don't see this side of boxing. I mean, I'm trying to obviously make weight up and down the motorway training. Obviously, I mean training twice a day. I got to juggle my family life. I got 3 children. So obviously, seeing to them, juggling my day-to-day job, my job as a gym owner, but I'm on the gym floor most of the day. I open the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes I'm not leaving 8 o'clock in the night.
Mhm.
So I go train in between. I like a little nana nap in the afternoon, but just to recharge a bit. But yeah, it's hard work. So but it's um, it's a sport I love and boxing I love, and just when you're in that ring and I know I'll put 100% into it. So it's just kind of balancing everything and just trying to just take a rest when you need to.
I hear that. Whatever you need to do to get through the day, whether it's napping, power napping, or not,
Yeah,
you get through it.
yeah.
I want to talk to you about a fight you fought in the past, Dante Dixon. Just quickly on Dante, like a lot of people kind of seeing Dante as someone who has a lot of potential in the sport. Did you see that when you fought him?
Yeah, 100%. He's probably the best fight I've fought, obviously professional. I think he was 5 wins, 4 knockouts or something like that when I faced him. So obviously I knew I was getting in there for, and everyone tipped him to obviously stop me, but obviously it was another close battle. He broke my jaw in the last round of that fight as well. So it was. He told me after that was the hardest fight he's had. Like, so, obviously it took a lot of respect off him, and obviously Eddie in the matchroom as well. I think they all said how tough I was in game. I was. I had some good credit for that fight.
Mm.
Obviously, yeah. Go back to Dante. But the only thing I will say is a bit of a shame after that fight. I thought, oh, he's going to kick on to titles, or maybe, I mean, be shown more on Sky. And I think he's only had one fight since then, so it's a bit of a shame for him not to be in the mix by now.
hmm No, I hear that. I hear that very much. Look, going back to yourself, and you kind of saying, look, you're taking one fight at a time, but the potential that it could be the last crack at the titles. I
Yeah.
just throw it out to you. Would you ever consider the journeyman route, or is that nothing you'd want to touch?
I've had loads when I first hung the gloves up. I had loads of managers, promoters getting in touch with me. Oh, why did you go on the roads? You make a load of money, blah blah. But I got like a winning mentality. I'm a grafter, like, you know what I mean, and I mean, I put 100% in everything I do, whether it's work, obviously children, my fight career, and I don't really want to just go in there and go through the motions. I want to go in there to win. And obviously, when you win, then you don't get a phone call. So I'd be the most avoided journeyman, I think. But I can see where people are coming from, like, but I don't know. You're taking a lot of punishment than as a journeyman as well, you know. So I'm when I'm fighting, I'm in there to win, not to lose, you know.
And because like maybe the last stretches might be in mind, does it make you want to approach this fight coming up any differently in terms of the way you approach it, or maybe approach the fight in that look? If it comes to the point where you have to just straight up slug it out and go for it and go for broke early in the fight, you'll do it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm known to have a good trade and a good tear up kind of thing. It's the way I fight. They never take a backward step. Um, However, the only thing I am going to change about this fight is obviously in my last few fights, I've obviously been on the big bills, fighting for titles, etc. And I probably had a lot of pressure on my shoulders. But this time now, like I said, I go back to the start and doing a 4 rounder. I'm just gonna go in there and enjoy it and just relax and just be myself, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I'm not gonna have all that pressure and all that. You know, we got to kind of do it for everyone else and doing it for me now. Going back for me and I'm just gonna enjoy it and just see wherever it takes me. It takes me, you know. I've obviously made the decision also is obviously when I'm hitting the bags and pads and the training, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling strong. And when I'm sparring, I'm feeling great. But you won't know until you still got it, until you're under the bright lights again, you know, when you're back in the stool, when you kind of breathe in, if I still have the same feels and the same fire in my belly, then obviously I'll continue. If I just scrape past the win against the journeyman and I'll be open and honest and I'll hang the gloves up, you know.
Mm.
As at the end of the day, I'm 33. I've had a lot. I've been boxing 18 years. And I mean, see what I'm just going to take it one step at a time rather than focus on titles and where I can go and all that, you know?
And so are you coaching as well? Is that right?
Yeah, I do a personal trainer throughout the day and all that. And I obviously got a amateur boxing club as well. So I'm
Mm.
busy with that in the evenings and obviously taking the kids and seniors around the country.
Mm.
We've obviously season just finished now. We had over 110 bouts from our first season as a club and 5 champions as well. So we've been really busy.
Yeah, you certainly got the name for coaching with a name like Angelo. Another Angelo done really well as
Yeah,
a
yeah.
as a coach in
That's right.
boxing. I just want to talk to you. Look, when it comes to looking at yourself as a fighter, Welsh, Italian, the classic comparison would be like Calzaghe and that kind of influence. I imagine Calzaghe kind of looking at him and what he did was a big influence for you.
Yeah, 100%. I used to follow Joe Calzaghe when I was younger. And I'm not sure if you noticed as well, my new trainer is Enzo McAnally as well. So I've been up with him training now.
Yeah,
So still got to keeping the Italian Welsh theme going.
Italian Welsh is theme for sure. What's the main piece of advice that's kind of stuck for you from getting from Enzo?
To be honest, like Enzo said, like obviously he knows him come forward and obviously like a good tear up, but I like to kind of take too many shots sometimes and just he just get me to kind of catch and counter a bit more and just plant my feet and throw him a bit more correctly and a bit more purpose, you know. I can see the difference in my power. I just like planting my feet better and just not like smothering my work and you know. So I'm learning tons from him to be honest. Um, and yeah, I'm feeling good and I'm feeling confident. And I think having someone like Enzo Martinelli in the corner is just going to give you that kind of good back in the corner. Do you mean that good faith and kind of I think it'll be an advantage to like someone who hasn't like been there and done it. Then do you know what I mean?
There was a point, I think it was around the end of the pandemic, that Enzo was sort of flirting with maybe putting on the gloves again. He was putting some clips out of showing him hitting the bag and stuff. Would you want to see Enzo back in the ring in some capacity?
Um, I'm not sure to be honest. He trains like a madman. To be fair, he trains like I mean once twice a day every day. And obviously he's always online trying to motivate people to get off of their asses and stuff. Uh, but yeah, I think I'm not sure if I'm correct or not, but I think he's had 49 fights. So I think it was toying with the idea of the big 50, but I suppose that would be a nice landmark. But the only fight I would like to see is him and Nathan Cleverly, because obviously they two Welsh lads which kind of could have fought each other.
Mm.
I think they both coming out to retirement, so it'd be kind of fair as well, and you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think that would be the only fight I'd be interested in watching. But obviously he's becoming a great coach now. He's got a few pros on board now. I think he's obviously going down the coaching route more than the comeback route, you know?
What's your feeling on the current state of Welsh boxing? Like you're saying, like the likes of obviously Calzaghe retired years ago, so did Enzo. But you got the likes of Joe Cordina, who's flying the flag now, looking for big fights, big unification fights. Liam Williams is promotional free agent now, looking to get back in the ring and have one last crack at the big time too. But what's your current position on Welsh boxing as a whole?
Um, I think like obviously Codina now has put us back on the map a bit now, and he's outstanding talent, and I think he'll unify some more belts. Like, and I think obviously the more defenses and more belts he gets, obviously Wales is going to be on that map a little bit longer. But like I said, Liam Williams is probably coming toward the end of his career, but hopefully he'll get another maybe shot at a European or world title. I think with Wales, there's a lot of really good prospects coming through, like Rhys Edwards. Obviously, Gavin Gwynn is getting a little bit of a name for himself now. I think he's just got a matchroom a deal. There's talks of Andrew Selby coming back. JRS is obviously good on a domestic scene.
Mm.
So yeah, like around the prospect kind of Welsh British title level, I think it's booming. Just missing a little bit towards the end, like the world champions and all that. Like, but I think maybe in like three years time, I think it will catch up a little bit. You know.
I hear that. A couple of final things for me, Angelo, and I'll let you go. I can see you emblazoned on your chest there on your shirt. It says "Wake up, be positive." How much is the mental side a thing for you, and getting that mental side right at this level?
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's what I live for. To be honest, every time I wake up in the morning and I'm ready to go, like, and I try and pass on to my clients, whoever comes through the door, and try and be a positive influence, in my workplace, my job, my family, everything. To be honest, and yeah, it's important, especially these days of people suffering with mental health, and obviously after lockdown and stuff, there's a lot of people who have a lot of issues and stuff. But you got to look at the brighter side and keep moving forward, you know?
Keep moving forward, indeed, and you plan to move forward on the 22nd of July. I'll leave the final word with you. What happens when you step into the ring on the 22nd of July?
I think I'm just gonna. It's obviously it's internationally in front of my home fans as well, so I haven't had the opportunity to fight in front of my home fans for since I was an amateur, really. So like I said, I'm just gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna put a good boxing display on, show what I've been learning with Enzo, and hopefully steal the show.
Ethan, let's take a look at things for you. Out on the 22nd of July, if we rewind a little bit earlier in the year, we suffered your first loss in your career. Talk to me about what happened there in that fight.
Basically, no excuses. The bad man won of the night, but I had to take it got changed from a day before Ian to on the day win, where I didn't know whether it was going to be one of the two. There was a title fight on, so I thought it'd be a day before Ian. But the title fight got called off, so it got changed then to on the day weigh-ins. I had to lose 8 pounds in the day. Weighed in by 5 o'clock, fought by 7, didn't have no time to rehydrate or nothing. So I tucked myself up, really. No, it wasn't anything to do with the fight, though, being better than me or anything like that. But it is what it is. I've gone up in weight now. I've gone to super middleweight, so I don't have to take as much weight off me.
Okay, so you're at super middle now. Look, just going into that fight and obviously the aftermath of it, apart from like realizing maybe moving up to middleweight to super middleweight, was there anything you learned about yourself as a fighter as a whole, I guess?
Yeah, just because being stupid won't get you anywhere. Like, do you know what I mean? I should have brought the weight down way before, but I hadn't experienced that feeling before. But it took its toll on me on the night. After won the first round. After the first round, all my energy just got sunk out of me. I was slipping shots. I couldn't come back with nothing. I was knackered. So That's what I learned. Just don't be stupid.
Mm-hmm. Now you've had 5 fights, as you mentioned. The knockout win hasn't come quite yet. Are you looking to kind of scratch that off, maybe 22nd?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I think it's through all my amateur career and stuff like that, and in training and sparring and stuff, I always just be myself. I walk forward. Don't really, I do box, but I don't really box in the back foot much. I got a good strong jab, and I come forward. In my fights, I haven't been doing that. I've been practicing my learning. I've been doing what I've been learning in the gym, boxing and stuff like that. But that's just not me, like, to be honest with you. So you'll see a different me on the 22nd. No.
On the 22nd, you're boxing in Connectly, your hometown as well. And
Yeah, that's it.
Coming off the defeat and coming into your hometown fight, do you feel an extra, like, double sense of pressure to get the win in front of your hometown crowd and then get the win, of course, too?
Yeah, no pressure. To be honest with you, I don't feel pressure. To be honest with you, I thrive off it. I enjoy it. I take it all in. Normally, people try to calm their nerves down and stuff before they go in the ring, but I'm calm, cool, and collected. So I take it all in. Try to get the hype behind me, like, you know.
What's the track? What's the goal for the end of this year? Where do you want to be? You get the win on the 22nd. What do you want to do?
I want to get this win on the 22nd, get a 6-rounder or 8-rounder out, and then straight into a title fight then by the end of the year, hopefully.
I believe it. Are you looking at your social medias? Are you doing coaching as well, Ethan, or I'm mistook you for someone?
Yeah. I coach. I coach Stallion AC, the seniors, and I do a few kids as well. Train a few kids. That's my second call in, if you could say it like that. As soon as I've finished boxing, I'm going to be giving back to the kids then.
Apart from being on the other side of the gloves and the pads, of course, what's kind of the main differences of, like, you know, fighting and then coaching?
It's just that you gotta not take everything in from my point of view and listen to other people and stuff like that, and treat people as individuals, and do you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So the only difference, like, it's a lot calmer when I'm on the outside of the ropes. But to be honest with you, I go just as mad when I'm outside the ropes for the boys, to be honest. So, it's just, it's good as well. It's good for my career because the things that they're doing wrong, I can pick up on as well. So win-win all round, really. I got to give back to the community, and because lately, it's like, there's a lot of talented kids, but there's a lot of trouble around here. It's a rough town, so the more I can give back, the more I can help the kids and people and stuff like that, the better, really.
You've got a good attitude on you, Ethan. Are there any fighters that you want to highlight that have some potential? I know that Brandon Price is someone that you've kind of bigged up on your social media. Yeah,
it's a Brandon Price he's from Llanelli, Buryport area. He's only 18, 19, really good kid. There's the boy called David, the Polish fella, fighting from our gym. He's a really good fighter, most dedicated boy I've ever seen. There's loads of talent, to be honest. There's too many to name. We've got a few Welsh champions in our gym. We've only just opened the gym a year ago. We got 3 Welsh champions, 2 box cup champions, or 3 box cup champions. So we've done well in our first year. We had over 170 fights out, I think, and we won about 80 odd of them. So very good for our first year.
Very good indeed for your first year. I was speaking to Angelo Dragone, who also features in the card just shortly before yourself, and we were talking about the current state of Welsh boxing. It feels like, you know, you got Cordina flying the flag right now, and then Liam Williams is looking to kind of get back and maybe have one last crack at it. But other than that, maybe we're waiting for the stars to come through, and you're kind of nurturing those new stars at the grassroots level.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about the grassroots. It's you've got to be behind all your local talent or people who just go out on the streets. Like, it's the same with any sport they do. Like, you see people around you playing good high level rugby, football, boxing, and then when they get to a certain age, then because they haven't got the backing or whatever, they either go and get jobs and quit what they're doing, or they just hit the streets and go down the wrong road. So we got to get behind our youngsters and push them on. And hopefully this show on the 22nd now can show. It's my dream to fight in front of my hometown, so my dream's coming true. So anyone's dream can come true, really.
I saw it was a while back now, but you've got some sparring in with Liam Williams again. Like we mentioned, Liam, someone who's flown that Welsh flag for quite a while. What was it like sparring Liam?
Oof, he's an animal. Yes, he's a good fighter, really good fighter. Didn't take it lightly on anyone, but that's how younger fighters learn, innit? I've also sparred Liam Smith. I've sparred JJ Metcalf. I've sparred few top level boys, to be honest. I haven't held my own, so I know where I'm at. My goal is if I can get a British title, that's my world title. I'll be over the moon if I can get a British title fight. So that's the main goal within the next 5 years.
That's a good goal to have. Well, I'll leave the final word with you heading into 22nd July. What happens when you step into the ring in front of your home fans, and you look to perform? What happens?
I'm going to say second round KO, stealing the show.
Stealing the show, indeed. Ethan, pleasure speaking to you. Looking forward to seeing you in action.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.